Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to, as you'll see by the title, James Robinson's favourite shot. So the flop shot, James goes for this a lot. A lot of people and a lot of amateurs I see try to go for this shot because you see it a lot on TV, playing high tariff shots. The pros can do it. It doesn't always work out, but they always show you the good ones, so you want to give it a go. So what I want to do today is talk about how to play those shots from two different lies. So there's different ways to play this shot, and it's making yourself aware that sometimes it needs to change if we're in the rough and if we're on a tight lie, a fairway, trying to go over a bunker or something. So first of all, let's start in the thick rough. So the ball's sat down and we want to get loft. So one thing we want to think about when we're in the thicker rough is there's a lot of interference. So there's a lot of grass in between the ball. Today it's also wet, so it's not, well, it's going to potentially launch a little bit higher, but it's not going to have as much spin control. And in a flop shot in general, we're not expecting much spin. Reason being is nice and simple. That ball is going to be sliding across the face as opposed to having any time to grip. So when we're playing that, we need to really think about landing angle here. We need to know that it's going to run out a little bit more than we would expect from a normal shot, maybe a little lower, a lower trajectory shot. It's going to grab the face a little bit more. Setup wise here in the rough, I want to make sure that, again, feet stay narrow. We're not playing this like a bunker shot. Other people will get a long way away down here trying to play it just like a bunker. We get one that's hit straight in the middle, we fall back, we try and help it up. We either drop kick it just in front of us or we send it all the way over the other side. So for this lie in the rough, what I want to do, feet nice and close together, club width apart, which I'll show you face on shortly. Then we're going to get this shaft a little bit taller and we're going to open it wide up. The main thing here is I want to miss the interference of the grass. So less interference with the grass, we're going to be more consistent. So from here, I'm going to feel like it's more of a hinge up with the wrists. So you see there, I'll hinge straight up and we're going to be more up to down. Again, I'll show you face on shortly, but more up to down into the back of the ball. That will help us pop it up. Just because we feel like we're going down, I'm not digging straight into the ground. We've got plenty of bounce on that. I'm going to go steep up, down, and you'll see plenty of loft on that club face at the end. It's gone through, it's not taken a big divot, I've not dug down, and that's come up nice and high, even if you could barely see that golf ball. So from face on now, you'll see club head width apart with the feet, left foot really turned out. I'm closer to the ball. Again, you'll see there's plenty of loft on that face. I've not got the hands angled back, which sometimes people will do naturally. You will see that sometimes, but here, again, that would encourage me to hit the centre of the ball and thin it straight through. So from there, you'll see that I'm really picking that club up tall. You'll see I get a lot of wrist hinge there, and then we're presenting the loft down onto the golf ball. So I'm trying to get the club head to pass the hands. So it's not twisting and going this way. We're trying to let that club release, and in the finish, the club face should be pointing straight towards me. So I should be able to see that loft. I shouldn't be turned over. As we know, then that will have closed the club face down and it's probably going to go too far. So pretty big swing for such a short shot. We're going to hinge it straight up, straight down. Again, club face pointing straight to me, and that's gone closer than one before. So you'll see there, obviously, like I said, that one's gone a little bit closer than the first shot. So plenty of loft there. You'll see that it launched nice and high, just the same as the first one, and that's with my 56. If we're looking for a further shot, so if we're looking for something that's going to go probably to the back edge of the green, if I give myself a similar lie, sat down in the rough, we're going to drop down a club now and play the same motion. So still feel like it's hinging up, and then we're going to let that release and see the face. I've dropped down to my 52 now, so it should launch a little bit lower, and then it should have a little bit more run out. So I can play the same swing instead of trying to hit it harder with the 56. You see there, up to down, landed on the slope, and it's released down there. So same kind of shot, same kind of motion, hinge it up, down into the back of the ball to get that popping up. But all I've done for a further shot, same motion, change loft, get that running out. So you can see there, guys, from this rough lie to play the flop shot, we need it wide open. We're a little bit closer to the ball. We're going to hinge up to down to get a little bit more angle of attack, and get some more loft. But the key thing for you guys, when you finish, I want to see that club face pointing straight back to you, not turned over there, which is a lot of people will do, is they'll have leaned back, club finishes here, as opposed to turned out in front of your body. So let's get on to now a tighter lie, show you how we'd play a flop shot from there, what we change, and see if we can get it closer. So straight in at face on here, we're going to make some changes. So off the tighter stuff, to get a little bit more loft, we're wanting to be a little bit shallower. So instantly I've dropped back down to my 56 here. This has got 10 degrees of bounce, so we're going to open that up slightly. Stance can get a little bit wider, and you'll see the ball position is probably just inside the left heel. From there, we're going to feel like we don't have as much wrist set here. We're going to feel like it's a little bit wider, and we keep the loft on that face. So if you was to make some swings here for a flop shot, we should start to see that that club face is pointing to you on the backswing. We know then we're keeping a lot of loft on it. I'm also a little bit further away from the ball, which is what you'll see from down the line. But here, no real wrist hinge. Feel it nice and wide. Get to your finish. And you'll see there, when we move the camera, another good shot. Unfortunately, this is not going to help me with James because he's going to say it's a shot every time. But in the finish there, nice and wide, no real wrist set. Club face is pointing to me both on the backswing and on the way forwards. So there, plenty of loft, less wrist set, a little bit shallower, and you see instantly there, even with a 56, straight up in the air, plenty of height, landed soft, and that's gone very close to a very high tariff shot. So you see that's gone to around about 3 feet there. So again, very high tariff shot, well inside tour average for this kind of shot. And I made it as less complicated as possible. So from down the line, what we're going to see is stance is a little bit wider. Again, one tendency I see a lot is people open up the stance. We don't need to do that. We're going to be square to our target, even if anything a little bit closed. Club face is open, but you see now, handle is lower. So the club, I feel like my arms are a little bit lower. I've got a little bit more bend. That's going to encourage me to be nice and shallow here. Plenty of loft on the face, and then same through to the finish. So again, not much wrist set. We can open it however you feel. You'll see, nice and high, not as good that second time, but plenty of loft on there, plenty of, well, not plenty of shallowness, but nice and shallow there, not taking a divot, clipping the ball nice and cleanly. But you see there, not too much speed. A lot of people get 60 there, opening it up too much. They have to put a lot more speed on to get the ball going. Even there we can see, this is again not helping me with James Robinson, hopefully. Well, luckily I know he doesn't watch, or I don't think he does. But you can see there, nice and easy, not much speed, we're not trying to hit it too hard, we're nice and wide, less wrist set. So if we quickly talk through the two lies, if we're in the rough trying to play a flop shot, we need angle of attack. So we need you to get a little bit closer and taller, hinge it up, but still release that club down and see the face out in front of you in your finish. Once we get onto a tight lie, if you're playing links golf and you're behind a bunker, we can open up ever so slightly, ball position forwards, a little bit wider, a little bit lower, and then we're not trying to get much wrist set. We're keeping the loft on, so the face should be pointing to you here, the face should be pointing on the way through, and we can see then we can play the flop shot from two different positions. Unfortunately, we all go in the rough, I know I do far too often, but we can now play that shot when needed from both the lies we could get. So guys, hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that's given you a little bit more insight into it. Comment below if that's helped you. Comment below if you use the flop shot. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again later in the week.